You want them to clear their nails?
No, that's fine. Alright guys, I'm going to hand you, first I'm going to hand you a little postcard here. You have to take one, pass it back. You're not going to write anything. You can write your name on it, but don't write anything else on it right now. Doesn't matter what color you get or anything like that. Next thing I'm going to pass you is a little sheet that you're going to go along with me as we go on our virtual field trip. While I'm passing this out, how many of you guys have ever been anywhere out of the state? Raise your hand. Okay. Anybody been anywhere out of the country? Where'd you go, country? Where? Where'd you go?
Sweden, Germany, Canada, Mexico, lots of places in South America and such.
Well, today, with the help of Google Earth, we are going to go, one of the places we're going to go is Greece. And we're going to go quite a few places over the United States. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. You have extra options. Here's my best to get first. That's good. Alright. Alright, so we're going to start our trip. Yeah, I see a play button here. Yeah, like a stop play button.
Who's that up in the top right? Is that just an office?
Yeah, it's just a comment. So you guys are not showing it. Yeah, let me bring it back over here. You're supposed to show it on YouTube. There you go. There you go. Okay. Y'all know where this is right here? That's Nicholas Lawson. Here we are right here. See?
Do you really like tool windows?
Look. That's Miss Barnett. Okay? So we're going to start our trip today. We're starting off in Nicholas Lawson. The first place we're going to fly to, just give me a second. Each place we go to will take a few seconds. We're going to fly across the world to Greece. Okay? In particular, anybody know what this place is called right here? Well, it is the Parthenon. This place is called the Acropolis. And do you see what kind of structure that's built on right there?
A big hill.
That's a big hill. The word Acropolis means hill, or in reference, there's a couple of Acropolises in Greece. Okay? The first one here is the Parthenon. That is the Parthenon. Okay? The first thing we're going to talk about, if you've got your sheet, is there are several things that Greek civilization has helped us have today, or we've taken from Greek civilization. Architecture is one of the first things. What do you see at this Greek building?
Columns.
Columns. That is the Parthenon. It is a temple built to Athena, the goddess of Athena, in Athens, Greece. Okay? It was built on the Acropolis. The Acropolis is kind of like a big hill there in Greece. The type of columns you see there, and you can't see them real well, but they're called Doric columns. Do they look very elaborate, or do they look just kind of like plain columns?
Plain columns.
That's the best thing you can see, a Doric, the best way you can tell it's a Doric column. On your sheet, you got 3 examples of columns. The one on the left is Doric, and that's D-O-R-I-C. Doric is the most plain columns that you can have, okay? They're very sturdy, and underneath Doric, you'll feel this in. It says the columns are sturdy. The capital, now when we talk about capitals, we talk about cities, but when you talk about a column, the capital is the top of the column. The capital is very plain, okay? It's not very decorative. And these were found in mainland Greece and in the colonies. This is the temple of Athena and Parthenos, which was the Greek goddess of wisdom. This temple was built in 5th century BC. Okay? The word Acropolis means the sacred rock or the high city, and this one was dedicated to the goddess Athena. All right. So now keep that in mind. The Doric columns.
What do you want us to put under example in?
Well, you just say right here.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
I believe the Parthenon also acted as the treasury for Athens.
Well, it may have been. What you're going to do, for example, this is one possibility you can do, for example. All right. We're going to drop the in real quick. Right here. What do you see in front of our school? What kind of columns do we have in front of our school? Doric columns. Where did we get that idea for Doric columns? From Greece.
Now, it looks like we're looking at a video.
So, for example, you can put columns in front of Nicholas Lawson. Here's another example. Okay, this is also in Silicaca. See if you recognize where we're at here. This is Broadway. Okay? That's the main road that goes by CBS. Again, let me drop in. Let's take a closer look. And you'll recognize this house in just a second. I drive by it just about every day. Alright, let's get down there. Y'all recognize that house on Broadway? I always think it's odd because those columns are huge for a house. I mean, but what kind of columns do you see there? Doric columns. Okay? So there are several different places you can have Doric columns. This next place is a really cool place. If you guys have seen Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, you've seen this. Okay? It's in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been to this place. It's really amazing, honestly. Alright, you see that building right there? This is a park in Nashville. This building is an exact replica of the Parthenon. Okay? Where's my man at? Just drop in and I'll show you what. If the Parthenon were still standing as it was built, this is kind of what it would look like. Okay? See the Doric columns? One of the cool things is you see these reliefs right up here and on the top. They go all the way around the building on all sides. It's hard to see right here, but there are actually 2 sets of columns that go all the way around this building. You can pay to go inside of it too. They used to in the real Parthenon in Greece. There was a huge statue of Athena inside of it. They have a kind of a replica. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a great replica. It's like made out of fiberglass. But it kind of gives you the scope, because when you walk in, this thing is ginormous. I'm talking about 40 foot tall. I mean, you're standing there and you see this big statue and you're like, oh my goodness. But that's exactly what it was like back in ancient times when this building was standing. Alright, the next place we're going to go is back to Greece, again at the Acropolis. And I hope I say the name of this place right. And it's the Erechtheum. Okay? The Erechtheum is the temple. It's another temple on the Acropolis. It's dedicated to Athena and Poseidon, and it was completed from 421 to 406 BCE. Okay, let me click on this, and it should give you a bigger picture. Okay. Notice these columns. Look at the tops of these columns. Are they plain?
No.
No. They have a little scroll work on them. These columns are called iconic columns. That's your middle column up top up there. Iconic. I-C-O-N-I-C. Iconic columns. One of the things I noticed today driving to school, anybody that didn't have this in the PowerPoint, because when I clicked on the high school on this, it had it under construction. You know what kind of columns we have in front of our high school? Iconic columns. They look exactly like that. But under iconic columns, the columns are thinner. The capital, the top of the column, is scrolled. That's called scroll work. So it's scrolled. And another example, this would be one example, the Erectium. We'll close it out and we'll fly to another building in the United States that has these columns. Alright, this is the Longworth office building in Washington, D.C. Okay? Let's drop our little man in here on the street. You got a better version of this than I do. Yes, because you're just showing 3D versions. Alright, look at those columns. Look at the top. What kind of, is it scrolled or is it plain? It's scrolled. That's iconic columns. Okay? It's a little more ornate than Doric, right? Not too bad ornate, but just a little bit, you know. Alright, so let's go now back to Greece and we'll look at the third type of columns there. See, I don't have the 3D buildings on my version. So we'll fly back to Greece. Y'all not getting airsick, are you? This is close to the Acropolis in Athens, okay? This is the temple of the Olympiad Zeus. And it was dedicated to Zeus. One of the cool things about this temple, and there's not much of it left, but it took 638 years to build, to complete. Now you talk about a long building project, 638 years. That blows my mind. That's a little closer picture of the columns that are there. Those, you see how ornate they are at the top? Those are Corinthian columns. Okay, that's your third one up there at the top on your study sheet. Corinthian. And it says that the Corinthian columns are seldom found in the Greek world. Okay, these are more. When you see these columns, you should think of the Roman times, but they did have some in the Greek world, but most of these were used during Roman times. Okay, the capital, the top part, is very elaborate with leaves. Those are leaves. It's hard to see from that small picture, but they're kind of leaves at the top. Okay. And we're going to fly to a building, I think this building is in Washington, D.C. also. Yeah, it's a building in Washington, D.C. Yes, ma'am.
What did you say the columns were?
The columns were, the columns are seldom found in the Greek world. It means you don't hardly see them a lot in the Greek world. Okay? The capital was ornate or elaborate with leaves. This is the National Archives and Records Administration building in Washington, D.C. Okay? And if you don't get everything down, I'll help you when you get through this, okay? We're going to drop a little man in again and take a look. I think this is always cool when you see such strange stuff. But you see the columns there. You see how ornate they are. Okay? And a lot of times, you know, when we see columns on buildings, we think of churches around here. But I mean, there are houses and stuff that do have some. Not many, but there are some. Alright. So that's it for architecture. Now we're going to go back to Greece. And another way Greece influenced us is theater. Okay? Now, has anybody ever been to a real theater? I'm not talking about movie theater, but a theater. Anybody? Like opera, like plays. Like you guys have been to plays in high school and stuff, right? That's kind of theater. That's what I'm talking about, theater. Alright? Do you see this little half circle right here? Okay? That's the way, this is the way the ancients did their theater. The stage was down here, and people sit in this half circle, and there were bleachers up on each side. Okay, this one right here is the Theater of Dionysus. Okay, again, it's right just down the hill. That's the Acropolis right here. That's the Acropolis up there. It's just down the hill from the Acropolis. You also have one that's in much better shape that was built a little bit newer right here. This one's not as old as the other theater. Okay? Let me show you a picture.
So what is that theater called?
The Theater of Dionysus.
Why are they so close to each other?
Well, the Acropolis was on a hill, and it was a central location. So when they built these temples, that was kind of like the center part of their civilization. So when they put all these theaters close to the temple where they worship, it was just kind of a gathering place for a lot of people. This is actually a picture of the other one that I just showed you, one that's in better shape, and they still have events at that theater. Actually, I mean, they'll put stuff on stage, concerts, and everything else, and you can go online and look at their website. There's I mean, you'll see tons of people sitting here parked around. They'll hold, you know, thousands of people. But I mean, they still have concerts there today. Let's see. There were three main types of plays that Greek theater had. The first type is tragedy. Okay. A tragedy is when a person has difficulties, tries to overcome them, but fails. Okay? A person has difficulties, tries to overcome, but fails. You know, we use that word correctly, a tragedy. That's when something tragic happens, right? You know. Another type of play is a comedy. Now, this is a little different than what we call a comedy. Today, for us, a comedy is something that's funny. All right? For the Greeks' time, a comedy was simply a story with a happy end. Okay? So you girls who like The Notebook, that would be a comedy because it's a happy ending. They wind up together. You know, and then you boo-hoo at the end when they both die. I know. Because I boo-hoo there. Huh? It's a chick flick. That's all I can tell you. Because I watched it once and I vowed never to watch it again. The other type of play is satire. Okay? And satire is a play that dealt with mythology, their beliefs, but it dealt with it in a comical way, a funny way. Okay, so it's kind of like they're making fun of the gods or making fun of their own beliefs. Okay? Yes.
So is this like the modern day comedy?
Kind of, yes. Except for satire was specifically for their gods. It wasn't for I'm gonna make fun of the leaders. I'm gonna make fun of so and so. It was they're making fun of the gods. Because they had gods for everything. All right. Now the equivalent to us going to a theater back in ancient times, anybody want to guess?
Movie
theaters. And so I decided to fly us back to this place right here.
I've been there.
Me too. I don't know.
Is that the Carmine?
That is the Carmine.
Yeah, man.
You guys have been there, right? I see y'all hanging out. You know. But that's our equivalent to that today is the movie theater, and we have them all over. It's not just the Carmack Theater, but
I believe there's another movie theater near there that's called the Summit. Is it the Summit?
yeah, it's on up 280. That's 280 right there. All right, the next place we're going to go to, we're going to talk about some of the games they played in Greece. Okay, and I know you guys like playing games, right? Okay. This is the archaeological site of Nemea, Greece. Okay, this is another place. This is not in Athens. This is Nemea. This is where the Isthmian Games were played. They played games quite often in Greece. Okay, they had something called an Olympiad cycle, and it took 4 years to do the Olympiad cycle. The Isthmian Games were played on the 2nd and 4th years of the Olympiad cycle. Okay. And let's see what on your filling sheets you see. Okay, the games they played: I can't say this right. Frankfurton, wrestling, boxing, and they had chariot races. What is a chariot race?
When you're
racing with chariots.
What is a chariot?
A horse.
A chariot is a carriage drawn by a two-wheeled carriage drawn by a horse, and it's very small.
And here's a little trivia for you that I thought was pretty cool. I'm gonna hurry up. One of the reasons we have our railroad track set the same width is because that's basically the same width the chariot was. Alright, our equivalent to chariot races is Ricky Bobby's home. Talladega. Talladega 500 right there. That's an example of that. Talladega 500. Okay? Now we're going to fly to another place that did Olympiad Games. And these were another part of the games they had. Okay? You see this little field right here? That's an ancient arena right there. It's hard to see from right here, but this dirt part is kind of sunk in and it's kind of surrounded by hills. People would sit all the way around it and watch the events that would happen there. Okay? The Olympiad Games are completed over a 4-year cycle. Again, Frankfurton, wrestling, boxing, and they had horse racing or equestrian events. Okay? Our equivalent to equestrian events today, you may want to guess. And you probably won't know this because I'm sure you guys aren't into horse racing.
Churchill Downs.
That is Churchill Downs. Okay? That is where they race the Kentucky Derby. And you can actually drop in on the racetrack right here. And this is what it looks like if you're standing on the racetrack at Churchill Downs where the horses race. But that's our equivalent today. The last thing is Greek art. Okay? We're going to go to Delphi, which is another place in Greece. And I like looking at Delphi because it's an ancient city. There's the temple. Let me zoom in a little more. There's the temple right there. You can see a theater right here. There is a arena right up here where they did games. But look on the picture here. That is an example of a sculpture that is in Delphi. That's the Charioteer of Delphi. Hold on one second. It's an example of a classical sculpture. Okay? So that's your first one there, classical. There are 3 types of statues that were made in Greek times. The first time, A, is geometric. Okay? And there are no statues that still survive that are geometric. They're all broken up in pieces. Okay?
If so, how do we even know?
That's what I can tell you. The statue descriptions are very unclear and vague. We have descriptive writings about them. They were usually made from terracotta, bronze, or ivory. Okay? The second type of statue is archaic. And that's A-R-C-H-A-I-C. Okay? Archaic statues were ones that were carved in stone, and the key to them is they were expressionless. Their faces showed no emotions whatsoever. Okay? And then the last style is the most familiar style we have from Greek times, and it's classical style. Okay? The statues look like real people. That a lot of times they wore these togas, or a lot of times sometimes the men were actually nude in these photos. You see them, the statue is performing like a discus throw or some kind of sport event, but they were nude. But the poses and expressions were lifelike. And then an example, and I love this example. An example that I think follows straight from the Greek times, and this statue was built in the 1800s. Anybody want to guess where that is? New York. That's the Statue of Liberty. That's one place I would love to go. And we can drop down right here in front. Hey, dude, what's up? And then let's see here. Let me scroll up here.
What was the third one called?
Classical.
But do you see how this is a kind of a classical statue? It looks like a real person. The features are matched to make it look like a lifelike person. They even kind of dress kind of the same. They got kind of like a little robe. Last on those cards, I want you to give me 2 examples of ways that we got things that we got from Greek culture, and then you can have them on the way out. Don't worry about spelling. You put your name on it, yeah. What are two examples of things that we have in Greek civilization, that had in Greek civilization? Go ahead.